Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Dr. Matt Maines. I am the lead coordinator for the online elementary education program. I started about a year ago trying to get this program to where it is today, and I'm excited to say that we are launching here in fall of 2025. So we'll talk a little bit more towards the end about how you guys can apply. But yeah, really excited. And then also joining me is Dr. Michelle Hansen. She is the Frederickson School of Education Department Chair. She's an amazing professor and will be here to kind of monitor. If you want to look at the Q&A, if you guys have any questions along the way, her job is to kind of monitor that. We're also going to have time at the end where you can ask your questions as well. So anyways, let me jump right in. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the University of Sioux Falls, and then we're going to talk a little bit specifically about the new online elementary education program, which we're really excited about. So the University of Sioux Falls was founded in 1883. We are a Christian liberal arts university. I'll talk more about what that means here in a little bit. We currently have about 1,400 students enrolled. We are also accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. And then we've got certificate, programs, undergraduate programs, and graduate programs. And then also we offer both on-ground and online options for courses as well. Talk specifically about the Frederickson School of Education. It was kind of neat when I first started. My goal was to try to figure out, how long has it been here, and I was asking around, and I actually learned that the School of Education has been here basically since the beginning. We were one of the first departments in the university, and so that was just kind of neat, just knowing how long it's been and just thinking about all the teachers that have graduated to go on to do amazing things as well as just the faculty that has gone through and our current amazing faculty that we have as well. We offer programs in elementary education, secondary education, and also special education. We are accredited by something we call it CAPE, but it's the Council for the Accreditation of Educator Preparation. We have to go through rigorous protocols that we have to agree to, and we do a report that is sent that just kind of accredits us nationwide, which is awesome. We're also approved by the state of South Dakota, which is also neat. Again, we've got in the School of Education, just specifically, we have both undergraduate and graduate programs as well. And then in the past, we've just shown a very strong performance on Praxis, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But basically, that's the exam needed to be able to be certified as a teacher. So talking specifically about this online ed program. So the first thing we want to say is that we did build it for real life. So the program is super flexible. If you've got a 9 to 5, if you've got a job, it can be done. The coursework can be done at any time. It's all online coursework as well. And then at the end of it, just like if you were to come on campus to be part of our elementary education program, there is what we call a local student teaching experience. So what we'll do is we'll help you find a school near you, if you're not located here in Sioux Falls, that you'll be able to do your student teaching at. We also, like I said earlier, we also offer a very flexible and asynchronous learning. So asynchronous basically means that you can do it at any point. So, when I was going through my program, sometimes that would be early in the morning before the kids woke up. Sometimes that would be late at night. Sometimes that would be Saturday. It works around your schedule. And we also built the program to start every 7 weeks. So we know that sometimes, you're different life stages, but there's a starting point that's every 7 weeks. So you could pick up and start at any point throughout the program. Yes,
So
Michelle.
also, if you can go back to the last slide, Matt.
Yeah.
So the courses last for 7 weeks, and then you get a 1 week block of time in between those because we know it's important for families to catch up and just have that little extra time between classes as well.
And the program I just finished had that, and it really was for me like a time to kind of reflect. I felt like it was a good time to that's when I could do all the grocery shopping and stuff like that. And then it was kind of getting right back into it. But no, that's a great point. I do like that week in between. So how it works again, It's fully online. So we just want to kind of share that. We've had some people ask in the past, we have to come to campus at some point. No, it's fully online. It is an accelerated completion. So for our L-Ed students that just want to focus on elementary education, as long as the program works, we're looking at a 3-year completion rate, where even L-Ed SPED, we're looking at a 4-year completion rate. So a little bit accelerated completion. Experienced faculty, I can't talk enough about our amazing faculty here. I joined FSOE about a year ago, and just learning from them has been amazing. I feel like I learned so much. I feel like the way that they interact with their students is unique and different. That's one thing that I love about USF, is that I actually teach in the math department. I feel like I know my students by name. I feel like if they have questions or comments, that they can come to me, especially with our faculty here in the FSOE. They truly know their students, and also they support them as they go out into the school. So even if after you graduate, if you have questions, they love to reach out to you. They love to be reached out to and answer all those. So I can't talk enough about the faculty, amazing faculty. And then the last thing is our double major option. So special education is greatly needed right now. I'm trying to think here. Elementary education was the top 30 in the state of South Dakota. But yeah, the special education is definitely a need that so many schools need it. And just having that option to be able to do it online, I think is just unique as well. But all great stuff. Here's kind of a sample plan that we have currently. So this is, and the thing about this plan is we will work with you. So I know if you look at this, so the way this works, looking at year one for the fall, you would take our SDV 100 course, which is our USF experience, our foundations of education, and our exceptional students. Those will all kind of be in the first 7 weeks. And then the second 7 weeks would be the EDU 218 and the Math 155. And then all of that first, well, we call it 16 weeks, 15 weeks, because it's got that 7 week and then 1 week and then 7 weeks. You'll be taking English 111. So that's kind of our thoughts. The neat thing about this plan, the way it's set up, is that everything you would learn if you were to come on campus, you'll learn in this course as well. So none of the objectives are missed, nothing like that. And again, because it's asynchronous, you get to kind of figure out when you're going to do these. And we'll even help you. We're working on an online orientation where we'll help you kind of make a plan. So if this is kind of feeling a little overwhelming, we'll help you figure out a plan, kind of give you a good idea of how many hours you should be spending each week, each day on some of this stuff. But our professors are here to kind of help you and guide you through this whole process. And if you're looking at this and you're saying, hey, this is completely overwhelming, I just feel overwhelmed, we'll work with you individually to be able to kind of work through this stuff, so that way you guys can come up with a plan and be successful in this plan kind of moving forward. Yes, Michelle.
Matt, we have a question
Yeah.
about transfer courses. Do we accept transfer courses?
Yes, we do accept transfer courses, and Michelle will actually be the person that you'll be working with. So what she does, she does an amazing job. I don't get it, she gets it. Uh, you'll bring your transfer courses in. She'll look at it individually on an individual basis, which you wouldn't get at another university. She'll look at it and kind of come up with a plan. She'll make the courses, make sure that they transfer over. She'll make sure that, and then what she'll do is she'll come up with a like individualized plan for you kind of moving forward. So that way you'll know, hey, this course covered this course, and this is my new plan. This is how long it's going to take. So yeah, she does an amazing job with it. She knows everything. She knows all of the transfer courses. Yeah, she does amazing with it. But yeah,
Thanks,
that's a
Matt.
great
I didn't even
question.
have to pay you for that great comment.
Later. No. So yeah, and then the thing that I loved about my program when I was going through my program was these subject specific methods courses. So again, like I said, I teach math here at the university. I was a high school math teacher as well. But we have these methods courses. It was just amazing to see, like, I learned so much in my math methods course that I use now in my classroom. So it's what it is these are just courses that specifically focus on these subjects. And then what it does is it just kind of helps you think about math. Like for me, think about math in a different way. And like I said, I use some of the stuff that I learned back then in my current courses. So we've got those methods courses. We've got them in mathematics, art, science, and early literacy. You will take all of them. Yes, you might like me. If you were to ask me to draw something, I draw a terrible stick figure. But I did learn something in my arts methods course just about how students think, and also just creative ways. And yes, again, it's math, right? But just whenever we were talking about shapes and stuff, I learned stuff in my art methods course that I was able to apply to my math course. So again, you might be like, well, why am I doing this? But at the same time, it's just it gives you kind of a that wide perspective when it comes to teaching things that I still use all the time. Yes.
We have another question that's come in and wondering the elementary ed, what grade levels are students allowed to teach in South Dakota?
So Michelle, you might have to help me.
It would be kindergarten through grades 8.
Yes, K through 8. Yep. So I know that, and that was kind of where I love the K through 8 because in the whenever I was going through my program, I got the opportunity to teach in the elementary and middle school and high school, and you kind of get to see kind of which one you like the best. And having that K through 8 has been huge because when I first started teaching, I'm 7 through 12 math, and I was able to help out in middle schools. I did my like first teaching there. So it's nice that you get through 8th grade, just in the sense that it kind of takes you to that next level, just in case you were to teach. And then also, I know this is just a side note, but my family lives in Pennsylvania, and my sister was just telling me today, they've got their elementary is K through 4, and then they have an intermediate 5, 6, and then they've got a middle school 7, 8. So some like areas are starting to break it up that. So that's neat in the sense that, K through 8, you can apply for jobs at the elementary, at the intermediate, or the middle school. So it gives you just more options and opportunities for jobs in the future.
And if you went with elementary ed and SPED as a double major, then you would be certified K-12
Yeah.
in SPED. And that
Yeah.
was a question that had just come up.
Oh, nice. Yep. Awesome. So then you get the whole realm. And then finally, I just want to talk a little bit about the liberal arts core. So you will have to take liberal arts classes. Here at USF, we offer things in student development, theology, written communication, math and science. Those are two different ones. Fine arts, social science, and literature. So the reason why we offer that is kind of twofold, especially when it comes to education. The first thing that I think about is that it just offers a great blend of ideas and courses. Like I was talking about with the art course and kind of using that. Having that liberal arts core is that you'll just have it kind of opens up your mind and broadens your mind when it comes to topics. So obviously, as an elementary education teacher, you've got to teach all the subjects, right? So you have to teach math and history and ELA and all those, right? So the nice thing about this is it kind of opens up your mind and kind of lets you learn things about different things that you may not at another university, but here it just kind of opens up your mind so that way you can bring these things into your class. The second thing is I talked earlier about this praxis exam. So in order to be certified as a teacher, you have to pass both the general praxis and the subject specific praxis. Is it just general for elementary ed, Michelle?
No, there's an elementary ed praxis test.
Okay. And the great thing about having this liberal arts core and what we've heard from our students in the past is that it really has helped them succeed on that praxis exam. So on the praxis exam, you're going to have, again, a wide array of subjects and topics that are taught on that. And so the neat thing about coming in with the liberal arts core, I went to a liberal arts university as well, is that when I took that exam, like I had friends that were like, man, I studied for hours on this. And I felt like I learned a lot of the things, not so much in my elementary and my education classes, but in my other classes as well. So it's just kind of a neat thing that yes, it feels like it might feel like I'm learning all this stuff that I really have no like desire to learn, but what it does is it really helps you again in the classroom in the future as well as on that practice exam. So it's really an amazing opportunity that I'm glad that I have a liberal arts education, and I love teaching in a university that has one as well. Um, and then finally, the admissions process, we try to make it as simple as possible. So you can go to the website there at the bottom. It's apply.usufalls.edu. Very easy, very simple. It's a free application. You can apply at any point, and then all we need is your transcripts, and that's it. So very easy application process, nothing crazy, nothing like that you have to go out of the ordinary to do. Pretty easy to get through. Um, yeah, so are there any questions? If you have any questions, I don't know if you came in with questions, but you can use the Q&A feature to ask those now if you guys have any questions.
One just came in and it said, when can we get started?
Yeah, so I think we're still accepting applications for the fall. The online program is ready to go. We are kind of working on those courses now. Some of them are ready to go. And yeah, you can get started in the fall. If you want to go to apply.ucfalls.edu, you can do that. You can call the phone number on the screen as well. You'll talk with our amazing admissions team. They'll walk you through the process. Like I said, if you do have those transfer courses, the admissions team will send those to Michelle. And like I said, she'll do an amazing job looking through those, kind of walking through those, seeing if there's things that can fit, seeing how they can fit, and then also coming up with that plan for you. Any other questions?
Here's another one. I've been looking through the scholarship opportunities that Sioux Falls offers, and I see you have several merit scholarships. How do I ensure I get one and whether I'm eligible for it? Um, so that would be a great question for our admissions counselors. But one of the things I can tell you is that our on-ground students pay tuition. Our online students will pay per credit. And so um, the financial aid packages will look different for both of those. And so admissions and financial aid would be best able to answer that. But thank you for asking a great question.
Yeah.
One of the next questions that's come up is about transferring. So basically, I'm going to try and put it in my words, but if it's wrong, please let me know. But it's basically, so if I get the degree, can I take it to another state? And the answer to that is for the majority of the states and the territories of the United States, the answer is yes. And we will help you with that. So for example, you get your program through the University of Sioux Falls, and then you'll get certified in the state of South Dakota, and then whatever state you want to get certified in because you've got a job in Minnesota or Nebraska, we will help you with that certification process as well. All of the steps that you are going to take to become a teacher, we will help you with that process. And that's one of the things. I used to work at a public university, and the difference that I would say between the public university and our university is that you get a concierge service. If you need help, you will get it. All you need to do is ask for it. In the public university, we had a lot of students. My classes tended to be about 120 to 150 students per class. My advising list was off the charts, and that was one of the reasons I left the public university system. I think it did some things very well, but it didn't meet students' needs very well. And I think we are positioned to do that.
Yeah, I'll say one of my first interactions that I had with Michelle, I started right before the fall semester, and there was a student that reached out that was considering transferring to USF and was trying to figure out if it would be possible. And I remember Michelle, she came in on a Sunday evening, which I don't work on Sundays, but she came in on a Sunday evening and she was trying to work with the student and trying to figure out um, how to make it work for that upcoming fall semester and was able to respond to her it was either that night or the next day. But for me, it was just that mindset of, yeah, I mean, my undergrad was from a large university. my professors maybe knew my name, maybe not. But I know that if I reached out and was like, hey, I've got a question about a course, I've got a question about transferring, I knew that it would take weeks to kind of hear back from. And the fact that Michelle was like, no, I'm going to figure this out for you, and took time on the weekend to figure it out was just kind of the mindset that I think the Frederickson School of Education has, is that all the professors here will kind of stretch and reach to be able to help you the best that they can, and it's just neat to kind of see from just being here a year. It's I've seen it continuously throughout the year. So yeah.
So we have one more question. What is the total
Yeah.
cost of the 3-year plan? The 3-year plan, for every credit, it is $390. The current pricing structure is $390 per credit, and there's 120 credits total, so it'd be $390 times 120. And then if you're bringing credits in, obviously would be less than that, but we can help you figure that out once we know the actual number of credits that you have. Any other questions that we can help you out with? We
Well,
come up with some great questions
I
for
know those are some.
the
I know I'm
launch.
gonna have to write that. I'm gonna have to include that in the next one. Well, thank you guys for joining us this morning. If you have any questions, be checking your email. I'm gonna follow up with a kind of email here in a little bit. But you can always email admissions@usiouxfalls.edu. You can call 605-331-6600. And then also, if you guys are interested in applying, you can go to apply.ucfalls.edu. And like we said, we'd love to have you. It's an amazing program, amazing professors. Yeah, and it's great. So thank you so much for your time this morning. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Do we have another question?
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you guys. Hope you have amazing rest of your day. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
See you guys.